Right. It is a repeat of the IPL 2020 final. We have Jarrod, Kimber in the house to preview it with us. I'm talking about Mumbai Indians taking on Delhi Capitals. Now, these two teams are high in pedigree, high in class. Will it be a true test, Jarrod? Before we get into the predictions and whatnot, what's your first thoughts about this game?
Yeah, I suppose it's interesting to see how seriously Delhi take it. Is I suppose the most important thing. I know that there's been talk that they haven't yet qualified, but they have. They certainly qualified. I don't think we have to worry about that at all with that amount of wins. So it really does depend, on how serious they take it. For Mumbai, it means everything. And so if Delhi come into it maybe without their all their interest on winning the game, and they're thinking about other things, that gives Mumbai a bit more of a chance. But quite clearly, I think that Delhi is the better team at the moment out of the two of them. But that doesn't mean that Mumbai, won't throw everything they have at this one, which might make it a bit more interesting.
Absolutely. Now, these two teams, of course, the last time they played in India, and that's when Delhi Capitals came away with a 6-wicket win over the Mumbai Indians. But before that, which was IPL 2020 pretty much, they met each other 4 times, thrice in Dubai, once in Abu Dhabi, and Mumbai Indians came away with 4 wins back-to-back. They play in Sharjah this time around, which is, of course, going to be a similar, not a similar venue, but the same venue where, Delhi got unstuck against KKR the other day. So can MI do the same?
Yeah, I don't think there's any reason why they can't beat Delhi. I think Delhi may be a better team right at the moment, although without Stoinis, obviously, their lineup is not quite as balanced as they would want it to be. But yeah, I don't think there's any reason why Mumbai couldn't beat them. I'm less worried about the matchup things and how they've done in the past. The more look at the individual situation. I just think Mumbai have a lot more riding on this game, and so I can certainly see why that would be the case. On the other side of things, though, Delhi can throw a lot of spin at Mumbai, and Mumbai haven't been handling the spin particularly well so far. So that could be really interesting as well as far as matchups go.
Yeah, what else is interesting is fantasy picks. Now, of course, you guys can check out the brand new fantasy research center on cricket.com. I wouldn't say any more. Just watch this little promo before we get further along. Cricket is a numbers game, and Fantasy Center lets you access all the stats. Play fantasy cricket. Access player fantasy stats. Build your team based on numbers with some help from us. And choose your kind of team. Save and export to FanFight or anywhere else. Truly, cricket like never before. Now, that was some video, guys. So get cracking, download the cricket.com app, and it is simply sublime because for all you cricket geeks out there, you will absolutely love it. You can pit your batsman against your bowler, compare all the stats pretty much in T20 data in the last 5 years and beyond that as well. Jarrod, let's come to your predictions because, like I said yesterday, this robot went 6-5 in terms of wins and losses. We're not counting the draws in this. You have to come back here because time's running out for you. Batsmen, this is where it gets really tricky. Would you go for someone like Shaw, Dhawan, or Rohit, Suryakumar, Quinton?
I will go for Shikhar Dhawan. I think he is, what's he averaging, 40 odd in this tournament so far. Consistent run scorer. Kind of expect him to make the most runs for me in this particular game.
Now, Shikhar Dhawan, of course, likes playing against Mumbai, and you can check out all the data in the matchups against Bumrah, which is pretty cool as well in the FRC. Bowlers, it's gone for just Bumrah as ever. 2 to 3 wickets, it reckons. But it's Sharjah. Do you think Rahul Chahar or the other slow bowlers will play a part?
Well, I'm going to go for R. Ashwin in this one.
I was going to ask you about Ashwin and his controversy later in the show, but since you brought him up, the floor is yours, my friend.
I think that the way that Mumbai have been playing spinners, it's either him or Akshar Patel, and they've even got Lalit Yadav if they want to throw some overs. They've got lots of spin to be able to throw at Mumbai. And I just think that I think he's bowling quite well, maybe without the luck that he's had, but coming up against a lineup that maybe isn't as confident against spin right at the moment, I think that could play into his advantages. You're going to ask me about the nonsense now, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm going to ask you about the nonsense because that's inevitable. Because at the end of the day, he's come out on Twitter and had just, I don't know, a couple of digs at Morgan in Saudi. Shane Warne saying this is not on Ashwin. Ricky Ponting's in his own camp. Is it just England, New Zealand versus India, Australia in many ways? What's happening?
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest, this is a nonsense controversy of the highest order. Essentially, anytime if your main argument involves the word spirit of cricket or the way we usually do things, you're wrong to begin with, right? So that's where we start with this. The law is quite clear. You can run if you want to. We could have changed the law. We've had plenty of opportunities to change the law. We haven't. And so you are allowed to run if this happens. Now, people comparing it to the Ben Stokes incident, it's just like that's a completely different thing, a completely different case. If Ben Stokes had decided that he absolutely never ever wanted those runs to count, it wouldn't have mattered. It doesn't matter where he had the conversation or not. These are completely two different situations. So straight away, that is even more another layer of nonsense. And then, yeah, anyone who is saying that they've got a strong, it's like having a strong view on walking. Right, it's like having a strong view on sending a player off, or we either put laws in place to stop these things, or we don't. What Ashwin did was within the laws of cricket. Everything else, as far as I'm concerned, is just people pretending that they're better than other people in both directions.
In both directions. That's the key point there, because there are a couple of sides that we've seen on Twitter. Gambhir, of course, for Ashwin, and then you take a look at people blaming Dinesh Karthik and Rishabh Pant. So that's a different story. No. Coming back to the predictions, and before we get your winner's prediction, here's a question for the fans' goodie bag. And we're asking a straightforward question today, which is how many runs will be seen in the first innings of this match, which is Mumbai, Delhi at Sharjah. So it's a venue which has not been getting the high scores like you always think it has. In fact, yesterday we saw CSK, SRH, a low-scoring game, Punjab, SRH, a low-scoring game. So it could be one of those 130, 140, or even lesser. Who knows? Let us know in the comments below. Do you want to participate in that quickly? Just a number?
151.
151 in the first inning. That's a good shout. That I would say 146 if I get it right. I'll keep my own goodie bags. Right. Moving on to the final prediction, because Critlytics has gone for, wait for it, 54% of a Delhi Capital wins in terms of win-whiz or whatever you want to call it. Mm-hmm. So you agree with the machine here?
Yes, I agree with the machine. But
why?
The question, because I think if you were looking at everything on paper, you would say that Delhi should win 54% of the time against Mumbai. Minimum,
yeah, but
probably.
If you take a look at the historical record of Mumbai in the last 3 games,
I get that.
It's nuts.
Yeah. So you've got the Delhi form. You've also got Mumbai's form since resumption. So I find it quite interesting. The one thing it can't tell is whether Delhi's going to pull it out a full strength side. We don't know. We don't even know if Stoinis is going to play, do we? I mean, we're not at this stage where we're just guessing he's not. If he does play, I guess he won't bowl, so he still won't be the full package. And so that's where it gets a little bit trickier. And I could see how, if you're looking at the two teams and everything that's gone before us, you would probably have Delhi as a slight favourites. But the question for me here is, do I think that Delhi's just going to throttle back a little bit and Mumbai might be all up for it? Or is Delhi just a better team than Mumbai at the moment, in better form, and so they will cruise? So I have to work out tactically if I want to take the punt to try and take the point off the computer.
Yeah, that's the name of the game, because it could cost you the points.
Exactly. Or do I want to go with the team that should win, and it's the same as the computer, so I won't lose a point either way, and then I might be able to beat it in the batter and the bowler. I'm pretty confident with my batter and bowler in this game.
I would agree. Yeah. The latter, my friend, the latter. Trust me, because the robot sometimes invariably gets its prediction right with the main call, which is the winner. Batsmen and bowlers kind of goes off because it always looks for people in form. So I think
that's fair. Yeah, I think I'm going to go. I think I'm going to go Delhi. But yeah, I'm not completely sold on Delhi being a definite winner in this game. But if I had to pick a team, I think I'll still go Delhi.
Okay, and I honestly think Delhi might really give Mumbai a run for their money, despite Mumbai trying to kind of eke their way back into the tournament. Right, before we wind up, it's usual quiz question that we asked Jarrod, and he's got a few wrong, he's got a few right. We've taken 10 years to answer a few, but we've kind of got it out of him. Today, I want to know who's taken the most wickets in terms of Mumbai versus Delhi fixtures in the IPL, in IPL history, we're looking for that one player who's taken the most wickets when these two teams have met in the past.
Lasif Malinga.
That's close. He's second on the list.
Bumrah, is it?
No.
Oh, you're
It's a
kidding me.
spinner.
How is it not one of those two?
It's a spinner.
Is it Amit Mishra?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spot on.
I would have
Mishra
thought
was the man.
Malinga or Bumrah might have had it over him, but they were the three that sort of made the most sense. Yeah. So did I get the top three?
Yeah, Bumrah I think is fourth.
Okay.
This Harbhajan who kind of has a lot of wickets against Delhi as well. So
I did think about
Mishra
Harbhajan. I wasn't sure if he'd played enough, but yeah, Harbhajan would have been in my top four.
Yeah. So it was Mishra. Let's see if he can actually come handy in Sharjah if he plays. Well, be that kind of slow, low wicket. Let us know, of course, in the comments below about your first innings predictions. Until the next time, thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Much appreciated. We'll catch Jarrod mostly on Saturday night for a live. So let's see if that can be done. Until then, keep watching and subscribing. We'll see you soon.